Good morning, and welcome to our daily Money Habits broadcast. My name is Joanna, and I broadcast every day about developing better money habits. And what do I mean by that? It's just a set of activities that you do on a regular basis, whether it be daily, weekly, monthly, or annually, that help you manage your money better and help you on the road to financial independence. And over the years, I developed, just by doing, right? These are the things that I've done. Some of them more regular than others, and some that have really informed my money management and money skills. And my goal is to share that with people, to share with how is it that I've achieved it, what are the things that I've learned. And if you're new, welcome. If you follow me, you'll hear some of these resonating, or I repeat myself. Why? Because it's a habit. And today I want to talk about really thinking through and figuring out your monthly burn rate. And I call it a burn rate. Burn rate, like earn and burn, is just like an expression I've thought of. Like, you earn money and you burn money, and it just means that the list of things that your money goes to every month. We talked about budgets a little bit yesterday, and expenses, and what to track. But the first thing is you should do, and I do it like every year. And so we're coming into 2016, so I really encourage you to do that. And it's to write down all your categories, right? Like, write down all your regular bills. And it's easy to do if you have Mint. If you don't, look up at your bank account. Look at the things that you regularly pay for, right? So in the course of a month, right, if you look at 30 days from the 1st to the 31st, look at your regular expenses. That's where you start first. What are your monthly, right? So that's why we do it monthly. Most of the cadence of expenditures are monthly. And most things happen once a month, right? So you do your housing expenses. You either rent on utilities or your mortgage, maybe your condo fees. Like, don't forget all the little things, right? Like, you pay the mortgage, maybe it has everything included. So make sure you write it down in the parentheses. Mortgage includes real estate taxes, includes some sort of fees, includes other insurance. And you may want to break it out just for clarity. What are your cable bill? Electricity, gas, maybe water. Some people, we pay that in our condo fees. You may have a water bill separate. You may have garbage fees, all that stuff. Then look at the activities that you do. So, like, we belong to a gym. What are the monthly subscription services that you have? Even if it's Netflix, I know it's $8, but what are the monthly subscription services that you have, right? What are if you have insurance, home insurance or health insurance payments, everything that goes out. Next, the things that you do regularly, but they don't just have a monthly bill. So estimate, right? Like, that's why Mint's a good tool. You can estimate how much you're eating out, right? And put a number. So the important part of this exercise is that you actually take a piece of paper or a spreadsheet, right? Go to Google Docs, get an Excel spreadsheet. That's all free, right? You no longer have to buy an Excel program. Just go to Google Docs and start an Excel spreadsheet and write it down, write all your categories, and then write a number. Use the sum function. I like to use it at the top so then I can see it. Use the sum function to figure out how much it is. And then what you can do is you can update that, right? Like, as you recognize, hey, you know what, I'm spending money on this. So I used to have dogs. If you have pets, make sure you have a line for your pets. Food probably comes in, like, their food is grocery money, because you don't want to be like, oh, how much did I spend on cat food? Like, include that. But the vet bills will be separate. I have insurance it's US, so it's for my husband's work. So it's like our copay comes out, but it's high deductible. So we have to make sure we have money for health insurance. So I guess that's private because it's United Healthcare. And so make sure, if you have a health, I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I know how much our deductible is. So I have to make sure we have at minimum that amount to allocate. We may not spend it all, but we kind of just keep in mind that might cost it. And then our copay for the insurance premium just comes out of my husband's paycheck, so we never see that. personal grooming, clothing, right? Like all of those things. Oh, we were talking about pets. So vet bills, if you have like cat sitting or dog walking, like every little thing, just like write it down and then try to estimate it the best you can for what you spend in a month. So healthcare is in there, like any public transportation, or if you use like things like iPass accounts, anything that like it gets replenished automatically. And that's easier to track. Like Starbucks, I do the Starbucks card and it replenishes automatically. So I kind of have a sense of how much I spend. I spend on that. Any childcare, if you have children, again, very, very expensive. So make sure you include that. And if you're planning to have children, also include that. So anticipating and planning. So that's the task on the day. So once you're, I do have like the day of the week thing. So on Tuesday, I always talk about a task that I want you guys to do. And on Wednesday, we'll review kind of the outcome of what it is that I did. And like I do it along with you. And if you have any questions. So those are the things. And one of the things that's good is if you have a friend that may be in a similar situation, like sit down and just compare your list. Like you don't have to go through your numbers, but say, hey, this is my list of things. What else do you have? And they go, oh, well, I have student loans and I have this type of payment. And, I have this, like, maybe they have medication that they have to buy. Maybe they have, special diet that they're following. Maybe they have hobbies you don't know about. Maybe it's like, fees for an online video game. And you go, oh, okay, that's interesting. You're going to check your own like categories. And second of all, you're going to kind of get some insight into what you might anticipate. So similarly, talk about it with like someone who's a little bit further ahead. That's the important thing. Like find someone in your life that wants to talk about money or even just money concept and say, hey, you know what? I'm doing this exercise. Like, can you help me with it? What am I missing? Ask your partner. You have a spouse, you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, a best friend. Sit down with someone, compare your list. So like when you write your list, what goes on your list? And it's huge because when you try to explain your own system to someone, you're actually going to learn something. You're going to get some reinforcement, and what's going to happen? You're probably going to help someone kind of get on the same path and help them with realizing what it is. And why is this important? Because ultimately, outside of this, what you're going to get is a number that's a sum of all your monthly expenditures. And I call this the burn rate. And you have to figure out are you out earning your burn rate? That is the key to, like, you have to get flat or above in order to get on the road, because the realization is going to come out where it's like, what is it that I'm doing long term to make sure that I'm changing the equation in my favor? Because I want you guys to get the equation changed in your favor, to get your earn rate above your burn rate, and then start doing something with that excess income in terms of putting it away, paying off your debts, putting away in emergency savings, then investing, and then investing in whatever it is you can invest in yourself, right? It doesn't have to be in a market, but you have to create that buffer to do that. So that's the exercise for today. Go ahead, make your categories, write them down, write down your numbers, use the free Excel spreadsheet that's available through Google Docs, and then figure out what your number is, right? Is it 2,000? Is it 8,000? Is it 10,000? Is it 12,000? Whatever it is, you know what? I don't judge. Like, you could have whatever your burn rate is. Like, it's just a number. It's a number. And then you kind of come in and say, am I bringing in enough? And if not, where's the sugar daddy or sugar mama? But, or, I need a raise, right? Like, doesn't want to make you realize you're like, wow, I really need to earn more money. Like, I got to start thinking ahead to get ahead of it. So, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, right? So thank you everyone for joining, and come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about this topic, but we'll talk about more specific numbers, and we'll look at the numbers. And if you have any questions about it, again, sometimes people get intimidated by doing estimates and stuff like that, but use the tool, and then you can do. That exercise and say, okay, like coming into 2016, I know my estimates, and the whole point of it is to kind of check yourself as you go through the year to make sure you're you're on track, right? So if you're just joining or if you're replaying, we're wrapping up. And if you want to follow more, if you want to find out, what's going on tomorrow, I'm on every day, 10 a.m. Central Time, Chicago time, talking about money habits and sharing my skill set, my knowledge, and whatever else, my passion for money management with you guys. Hello, and doing it every day, 7 days a week so far. I'm like 56, 56, 57 days in. So every day at 10 a.m. That's my habit to share with you on money habits. Thanks a lot. See you tomorrow.